Welcome to the Introvert Sisters, the podcast by introverts for introverts, hosted by Sharon and Lisa, two INFJs with a lot to say.
Hi, I'm Sharon.
And I'm Lisa.
And together,
we're the Introvert Sisters. And we're together.
We are in the same space. And welcome to the first official episode of season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And
Season 3.
We're so official.
We're so official.
Yes. Episode 31.
Mm-hmm.
For those who are keeping track.
Yes, which hopefully is all of you.
And we're doing our Introverts Uniting separately together today.
Yes, which is awesome.
Yes, so let us catch up on what has been happening. Sis, why don't you go first?
Okay, so, well, it's January 13th, and it is also coincidentally International Skeptics Day, and I feel like somehow that is apropos for our first episode of 2021. It's like 2020 just broke us all down. It broke our spirits, like, collectively.
Yeah.
And I'm not ready to trust. I'm not ready to trust.
You're
And the whole year thing, I'm very skeptical. I'm skeptical of everything that could come to pass in 2021. I don't know. What about you? Are you feeling kind of like untrusting? And
it's kind of, it's from one day to the other, isn't it? So you just don't know exactly what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And people will people.
People will people.
People will people.
Yes, as we've already discovered.
That's
for another episode.
That is indeed for another episode.
Yeah. But on the bright side, to counterbalance, what potentially could come to pass this year. The last thing I did in 2020 was become a Reiki master.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So that means there are now 3 of us in the family.
Yes, all 3 of us. Mommy, Sharon, and I are all Reiki masters. So we are a high vibe tribe, and it is wonderful. I'm so excited.
Okay, and what else has been going on with you?
Well, I started working out again. I mean, working out is maybe overstating the case somewhat, but thanks to you, actually, we've been walking around.
Exactly.
Right. We've been, doing a lot of walking and sort of easing back into moving our bodies and more regularly getting back into routine. So, the hope. I don't know if I want to even use the word plan in after 2020. I don't know that I'm never using that word again.
I feel like plans are really a bad idea in some respects.
Yes.
I mean, we do love to be organized, but we also have to recognize that given the situation we're still in, that the world is still in, that one has to have a little flexibility in one's expectations. Shall we just put it that way?
We shall.
Because plans can very easily go out the window. Yes.
Plans can get cancelled.
Well,
and so the word plan is cancelled. Moving on. All right. So what about you?
Okay.
What's going on with you?
I got my first paid commission for an anti-racism article towards the end of 2020, and it has just been published. It's a retrospective on racial justice and the awakening of both Black and white people in 2020 to these issues.
Okay.
And so I'll drop a link to that in the show notes.
Right.
And so, I think for me and for many other people, I know for you, sis, this is not something that is going away.
Right.
This is something that we're going to continue to be dealing with both on this podcast and elsewhere. And so having it published was a signal that we're starting 2021 with that same anti-racism energy.
100%.
Right?
Yes.
And speaking of
that, I wish you many, many more commissions.
Oh, thank you, sis.
You're welcome.
Speaking of that, MLK Day is in a few days, Martin Luther King Day, Monday, January the 18th in the US. More people have that as a holiday this year, in part thanks to some of the efforts that went on last year.
Right?
Yeah. So, that's really that's really very special. And I
Yeah,
know
because
that,
it used to be kind of like a non-event. It's
Yes.
really for a lot of.
and in
Yeah.
fact, one of the other things I'm working on, which, I can't really say too much about, but is I'm working with a company, and they're starting to plan their MLK Day / Black History Month strategy. And so I'm hoping to be doing more of that kind of work in 2021,
Fantastic.
which is wonderful.
Yeah.
And before we get into our main topic, just a reminder that we have switched things up in season 3 because life is what it is, and we want to make sure that we can continue to deliver quality, which means that our regular episodes will now drop twice a month. We'll still put in an off topic when we feel we need it. And
can anybody say election? There will be much to discuss.
There will be things to discuss.
Yes.
There will be things to discuss, from COVID to elections to who knows what else.
And probably back to COVID, unfortunately.
Yes. So we will be dropping another episode 2 weeks after this, and you can expect episodes twice a month going down sometime into mid-December. And we may take a mid-season break. That remains to be seen. We'll keep you guys apprised.
I'm taking. I'm ready. I'm ready for me.
I say all of that to say that rather than having 2 shorter seasons this year, we're going to have 1 longer season. And, thank you for sticking around, and we hope that you'll enjoy this. And with that, let us get on to our main topic.
Okay, so, it's still early in the year.
Yeah.
And, 2020 was what it was. As we alluded to earlier, we all had plans, we all had goals and whatever. And so, it's still early in 2021. I'm wondering, okay, after 2020, are New Year's resolutions still a thing? Are goals still a thing? And, are you going to have New Year's resolutions? How do you feel about it? Should we? Is that hubris? And
You were the learned wording there, girl.
Hubris. Yes.
Well,
how do you feel about it?
I feel like you have a direction that you're planning to go. We all do, and there are things that serve those, and but I think we just have to recognize that we're still in a situation where things can change rapidly, quickly. So we also have to be kind to ourselves and recognize that sometimes we're not going to get things accomplished in the time scale that might have been possible in pre-COVID days.
Yeah.
I think that's where I am with that.
Okay.
I still have things.
So you still have goals.
I still have goals.
Okay. So what would they be?
I knew you were gonna ask. Okay. So first of all, as you know, I launched an anti-racism newsletter.
Okay, that's your fault because you taught me that. So if it's corny, she's to blame.
Yes. And so it is a kind of a hybrid model in that there's free content and there's paid content. And, the paid content makes it possible for me to spend more time on the newsletter. So with that, I would like to increase the number of paid subscribers on to my newsletter.
Right.
I mean, I'd like to increase them tenfold.
Well, yes.
But
ideally,
would we all? But more paid subscribers.
Please, yes. Bless her with some paid subscriptions. Bless our Venmos and PayPals and whatever.
Yes.
Support the cause. # reparations.
Teach more anti-racism classes, of course. As everybody knows, I've been doing some work with the Beyond School. And so one of the things that has come out of our workshop for adults is an allies group that meets monthly with a theme. So, and I know you're going to be a guest on one of those sessions early in the year, right?
I'm looking forward to that one.
Yes. I'm going to publish my book. My book, you heard it here first, is called I'm Tired of Racism. I am tired. And it's a collection of essays that I have written over the past 6 months.
Like 1,000 essays. But anyway, I don't know how, I am still in awe at your level of productivity and your, I don't know, like just your dedication, your focus, your consistency. I mean, I know that you're a great writer, that's a given, right? But just your output has just been amazing. And so kudos to you.
Thank you, sis. And
Yeah.
you know, for those of you who've been following the newsletter, my writings on Medium, yes, there are a few pieces in the book that have not been published anywhere. So more on that as we get closer to launch date.
Yes.
Right? I have no details on that yet, but that is one of my big projects for 2021. And of course, to continue to get fitter.
You should send out some pre-review.
I will.
That's all part of your marketing plan.
That's all part
I
of
don't
my
know why I'm
marketing
telling you.
plan.
It's not like if you don't do marketing for everything. Yes.
Yes, to continue to get fitter, because last year a group of us started a fitness support group, which is still going. And I'm recommitting to that. I think many of us are recommitting to that for another year.
Right.
And so it's really, I mean, it's not anything heavy-handed. It's just, you know, being mindful of drinking water, of eating better, and so on. And so I definitely want to do that and continue improvement.
Yeah.
So what about you, sis?
Well, for me, because I live in the States, which somehow it just seems like a cesspool of COVIDness, more so than many other locations in the world. Although everywhere has to be careful. Okay, learn. People, please learn from the UK, and they had to do that whole tier system in terms of lockdowns and so on.
Yes, apparently they were actually had to invent another tier that was even more lockdown than tier 4.
Of course, because people will be people.
People will be people.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, so my plan is hope, wish is to get the COVID vaccine and generally stay COVID free. Or I wish this for myself. It's my plan for me. It is my wish for those who are close to me. It's my wish really for everyone, of course, right? But I want to be able to travel the world, and I'm not even talking about getting on a plane at this point. I'm talking about navigate the world.
Yes.
Leave your house. Leave my house and feel comparatively safe.
Yes.
I'm still at the point where if I see somebody walking down the sidewalk towards me, especially maskless, of course,
or across the road, right?
Wearing a mask or hair down, which is not wearing a mask. I crossed it.
Or under here.
Or under here.
Yeah.
Right?
Or on your ear.
Yes. And those are all valid if you're the only person around in your space. Once you're in a public space, you need to have your mask on. So I cross the street, but I would like to get to the point where that is not necessary. Ultimately, in terms of travel, I'd like to get to the point where, yes, we can all literally travel,
Yes.
Planes, planes, trains, automobiles, etc., etc.
Exactly.
Right.
And what else is?
That's a big part of it. I also want to continue meditating. I've started a meditation practice, or shall we say, made it more consistent. So
yes, because you meditated for
I've
quite
meditated
a while.
for quite a while, right? So I just want to stay more consistent with that. Use my malas and do my chanting and all of that stuff, because now more than ever, I think it is necessary just from a mental health perspective, just to stay grounded, because yes, it's 2021, but it's not like there was no hard reset.
Oh, no,
right?
no.
So we're still dealing with the 2020-ness of it all.
We are.
And we will be for years.
Many ways,
yes, in many ways and for many years.
Yes.
And so, it would have been great to leave 2020 behind us. And on that note, I want to do a major declutter.
Okay,
because I think
you do this every so often. I know.
Yes.
Every few years, you just start clearing out your space and getting rid of what no longer serves you.
Yes.
I guess it's been a while.
It's been a while, and I think I was kind of waiting to see, just in terms of, let's say, my clothing. Like, okay, are we going back to a regular office? And if so, what's that going to look like? But I think I am clear right now that I can get rid of most of my suits. Keep a blazer, keep a blazer or two for, when you have to do waist up dressing for an interview or whatever.
Yes, exactly.
But I don't need most of my business clothes anymore.
Okay.
So
Gone, baby,
gone, baby, gone. So stuff like that I want to get rid of. And then, because as you mentioned, I became a Reiki master, just, do more Reiki and maybe teach some Reiki classes and stuff, but I'm not going to be like devastated if that doesn't happen.
No,
it would be nice.
I know. I mean,
Yes.
we had been talking about restarting our Reiki practice, Reiki teaching practice.
You and mommy.
Yes,
Yeah.
but that really is very dependent on the COVIDness of it all, as you say.
Yes.
As things evolve, we need to revisit those dates because I mean it's been, a year, just under a year at the time this airs, since we last did a class because COVID hit and everything shut.
Right.
And we were beginning to think about whether it would be possible to resume in 2021. And as we'll no doubt deal with in other arenas, things happened, and therefore I believe that that restart date might actually end up being pushed back.
Yeah.
For the sake of our health.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. And then there are obviously now there are a couple of things that we both want to do. I mentioned continuing anti-racism writing.
Ditto for me. I
Yes.
definitely want to because I think we'd mentioned in a previous episode that I had some health issues towards the end of 2020, of course, because it's 2020. But
as if it weren't enough.
As if it weren't enough. And so that kind of took me off track in terms of my anti-racism writing. But so I definitely want to get back on track with that and continue because the struggle continues. Unfortunately, it should never end, but we are going to put in the work.
We will keep doing the work. And speaking of doing the work.
Speaking of doing the work, we're also going to be doing the workout. Which is the thing. I think we
do the work and do the workout.
And do the workout, right. So, we both mentioned this like 3 times already. So clearly it's heavy upon our minds. Well, and heavy upon our bodies. Heavy upon our bodies.
Let's not talk about heaviness. Let's talk about happiness.
Let's move on.
Suffice it to say that, holiday pounds are a real thing.
Oh my God.
And if holiday pounds are building on pandemic pounds, then, you got a fair bit of work to do.
A lot.
Right.
And then also posting more regularly, I think, for both of us on, especially on IG and LinkedIn. Because like it or not, those are the platforms that we have. In addition, of course, to your newsletter,
yes.
Your newsletter. But, you have to sort of post something where the people are.
That's true. You need to let people know about the stuff you have. And, social media is where it's at. Imperfect as it is, and we know it's imperfect.
Yes.
It is what we have.
And racist, and they keep, censoring us. But again.
But it's still what we've got.
And so, both of us definitely are going to be doing more posting on social media. And for us, for this podcast, I think we want to have some guests, right?
Yes, we have talked about this.
Hint. We
have talked about this since the beginning.
Yeah.
And we had to find our rhythm. We had to get comfortable. We're feeling more comfortable with it now. I think we're ready to have a couple of guests. We have a couple of people in mind. We have not yet approached anybody. Just so no.
But call us. Actually, no. Text, don't call. Text, don't call.
You know where to reach us.
Yeah.
If you are interested in being a guest on this podcast, and we do have. At the moment, it's only a mental list. It hasn't even made it onto paper or, digital document yet of people that we thought, oh, this person would be really interesting to talk to. So when we feel ready, that may not happen immediately, but, definitely sometime in this season, we would like to have a couple of guests, so that is kind of where we are with that,
Yeah. So I think that's it, I think it would be counterproductive to sort of get, have a whole long screed of goals. Like that would be setting ourselves up for failure. So I think this is a manageable wish list.
Yes. Of things that we've already started working on in many cases. So it's about continuing.
Right.
Yes, we have a couple of new things in there, but we're basically recommitting to continuing some of the work that we started in the back half of 2020,
right,
and to taking it bigger.
Yeah, and for you guys out there, if you have any goals, ideas, your share your wish list with us on social media. At theintrovertsisters.com, at the Introvert Sisters on IG. So, share what you want to work on with us.
What are you planning to achieve this year?
And let me tell you, and, on that note, planning to achieve, yes, it's good to have goals, but I think also be kind to yourself and don't put too much pressure on yourself. That's
Absolutely.
important. Because we're still in the middle of a pandemic, like it or not. And so to me, pandemic rules still apply. So go easy on yourself.
Yes.
You know, you might have 5 goals. You might achieve 1. That will be enough, because the major thing that we're all working on is surviving.
Getting to the end of the
Getting
year.
to the end of the year. They say early in January.
They say early in January.
But that's it.
That is how that is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And with that,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for listening to our kickoff episode of season 3. We're
Yay.
happy that you're here,
Thank you, guys.
and we look forward to connecting with you on social media. Thank you again, and bye. Bye.
You've been listening to the Introvert Sisters. Loved what you heard? You can catch all our episodes on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and all other major platforms. Subscribe, rate, and write a review. Find us online at theintrovertsisters.com and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at The Introvert Sisters. See you next time. Peace.